Yes, this is me in about 1995, long time ago. Good morning, Don Lesky here. Well, it's another day in paradise. We're in Corpus Christie, Texas, on the Gulf Coast here, getting ready on a Sunday to go out and check out the beaches. So we're gonna do some more of that. Yesterday we went to Padre Island, and it's kind of cool. They got a nice little island over there, some beautiful homes. Um, with inlets cut, it's like the fingers of a hand, like that. And the houses were built all, in between like this, and they each go like this, and then they have boats here, or they have each have a dock of their own, and each of these waterways, all these waterways, are open to the ocean. So I don't know, they got quite a few out there. It's pretty cool. But we want to enjoy our time here, and we're looking forward to our Jeep getting fixed, hopefully by Tuesday, and then we'll be able to hook it up, move on. So we're going to move on to Galveston. Where are we going, Emily? Galveston? Galveston, Galveston. There's a song, I don't remember all the words to it. Kind of have the tune in my head now. Then from Galveston, we're going to move on to Louisiana, headed toward New Orleans. New Orleans. I like New Orleans. It's fun. It's always something crazy going on. The police have their hands full keeping a lid on it. But we like to go and hook up there for a couple days and go on down and get some funky music, enjoy some southern cooking, some red beans and rice. Man, I overdid that one year in New Orleans. It's been quite a few years ago now, but I am ashamed to admit that I overdid it. I ate so much rice and red beans it made me sick. I actually got sick. Just overdid it. Too much drinking, too much eating. That's why one reason I'm fat. Anyway, we're gonna hit that and hopefully enjoy that. Now, hurricane season starts June 1st in this region. So from now on, for the next however long, month that we're in this region, it's going to be hurricane season. It doesn't get any better, it gets any worse as the days and time goes by. So we're going to bear that in mind as we go. Emily is making some hard-boiled eggs, a waffle with a little bit of blackberry jam on the waffle. What else? We got? Oh man, we got some. She's cut up some strawberries. Man, they look good too. I don't know if I can get them on this photo. I'm using the camera on it's on my laptop. But anyway, I'll enjoy them. All right, I don't know what else to say right now about that today. I will go ahead and get ready to consume my breakfast, and we'll see how the day goes. Today's Sunday. It is June 7th. Anyway, my wife just put this bowl in front of me. I don't know if you can see in here. Man, Well, there we go. I cut the eating part out. Oh, you don't need to watch me eat, but man, oh man, oh man, man, those waffles were so good, nice and toasty and hot. Don't put no butter on them. Just eat them the way they are with a little bit of jam, blackberry jam, seedless blackberry jam, and those cut up strawberries. So good, made me want to cry. I love eating. I love food. I got to try to be very careful about that. Um, I had one hard-boiled egg, two waffles without any butter, and then I had a little bit of blackberry jam. So I justify that saying it's just a little bit. And then the strawberries. Emily had her share, and I ate all the rest. I mean, I ate every last one. So, Lord, forgive me, God. Oh, my Lord. Anyway, I want to give a shout out to our boys. Don Lesky is over in Lake Tapps, our oldest son, and he is, I don't know, 48, 49 years old now. And LeskyRealty.com, and he's doing some crazy cool stuff with building homes. Um, I'm very proud of you, son, if you're looking at this. Very proud of what you're doing with things you have done. You've got a beautiful home on Lake Tapps with a dock of your own out that extends out into the water. And that's what most people would consider to be a paradise. I want to give a shout out also to Ben Lesky, our younger son, and I guess Ben, how old are you, son? I don't know, 42, 43 now? And see, that's the problem. One of the problems of being a Jehovah's Witness, don't celebrate birthdays. I can understand not celebrating Christmas, I guess, in the strictest sense of the word. There's no Santa Claus in the Bible. All right. Okay. And that's fine. And people that do celebrate Christmas have their justification for it. That's for the kids, whatever. As Jehovah's Witnesses, we were very strict. We just went by the letter of the law, so to speak. Anyway, we didn't celebrate them other holidays either. The Halloween, the devil worship, hobgoblins. I don't know. Halloween. What is all that about? Trick or treat. Knock on somebody's door and say, "You give me some treats, candy, whatever, or I will play some tricks on you, egg your house, mess with you, you know, mayhem." Well, we didn't go for that, and I understand that too. I get it, you know. In fact, none of the holidays, something wrong with every one of them, you know. And you know what? I haven't been to a Kingdom Hall of Jehovah's Witnesses in about 9 years. I'm not disfellowshipped. I'm not kicked out. I'm not excommunicated. Whatever. I just walked away. My wife walked away with me. She was very disappointed in the way they treated her. I just got tired, burnt out, tired of knocking on doors. You know, hey, would you like to have a Watchtower Wake? Now, I'm not saying anything bad about it. It's good to try to bring God's word to other people. But what I didn't like is forcing myself on other people. It's one thing to stand up on the city square or out in the public somewhere in the street, on a street corner, and say, I've got the Word of God, I've got some testimony here I'd like to share, and then offer these magazines, people walking by. Jesus went from house to house, and he said, that's the way to do it, and if they don't listen to you, then you shake the dust off your feet when you leave that house or city. So then that was the example Jehovah's Witnesses used to go from door to door and house to house. I don't necessarily have a problem with that in general. I did have a gun pulled on me one time, a shotgun, up in the hills above Napa, California, which is now all changed into wine country and all that. But back in the day, back in the 60s, the people up there didn't want to be bothered. And a lot of people today don't want to be bothered. I could have got shot and killed out there. Of course, yes, God would most likely see me as being a righteous person and, remember me when the time comes. But I don't know, I just didn't see, I could never see exposing children to that. All those years, I dragged my kids to the Kingdom Hall. I think we got some good instruction. We learned about the Bible, but I get to talking about this topic and subject. I tend to go on and on a little bit overboard because, I was raised that way. That's how I was raised. I'll raise my kids that way, all three of them. Naomi, our daughter, is still a member and still going faithfully, along with her husband, Don. So I don't call down evil. I don't say bad things about Jehovah's Witnesses. They're good people. They do good things. I just got tired. So I'm done with that. All right, anyway, where am I going with all this? I don't know. I'm rambling on. I'm a rambling man. So I guess today Emily wants to go to the beach and take a beach towel and go get her feet wet in the water in the Gulf of Mexico. And if we can find a suitable place to do that, I doubt that I'll get in the water. To me, getting in the water is jumping off of a boat into fathoms of water, or at least 100 feet, and scuba diving down and looking at the fish. There's some of the most beautiful things on earth in the ocean. If you have been down there and you don't know, well, then you don't know. Look at YouTube, some of the channels that will show you ocean diving, and you can see some of the cool things that I see. Anyway, where was I going with that? I don't know. Oh, I don't want to get my feet wet in the ocean in the Gulf of Mexico. Well, it's okay. I mean, I've many times been scuba diving right off of a beach. When we lived in the San Juan Islands in Anacortes on Fidalgo Island, I would go scuba diving. And you never dive alone. You always dive with a dive buddy. That's the rules. So I couldn't always find a dive buddy, so I'd go on in anyway. And back then, our kids were really little. Back then, they're all three born in California, but we moved up to Fidalgo Island to start a new business with a partner. That's a whole nother video. I can tell you about that. Elder in our church that absconded with over 100,000 in cash, took the money out of the bank, ran off with a young girl. Anyway, I never got over that. Went bankrupt, lost 2 homes, had to shut the business down, had to fire 5. I don't think we had 5 employees at the time, all doing auto repair. We were successful, making money. But anyway, that was that. Fidalgo Island. We enjoyed it. It was pretty cool. We call that the Banana Belt because the weather there was a little bit better than the rest of the state. Or so they say, and what we thought. Anyway, so we, where was I? I want to talk about that a little bit, but that takes a whole nother video. Anyway, that's where I'm at with it. I don't know, I guess. We certainly enjoyed it. It was a good time. Had some hard times there. I did some pretty foolish and stupid things myself. Wishing that we had life to do all over again. If we knew what we know today, if I knew then what I know today, I would be a much better person. Much better. But there's no do-overs. We're put here on the earth and given this life is to learn lessons, for one thing, I think. To take care of the beauty that God has created and to appreciate the Lord. Give praise, all praise to God, Jehovah God, Yahweh, Jehovah, however you want to say the name. There's one God, and one mediator between God and man, and that's His Son, Jesus Christ. The Son of God, Jesus Christ. He was more than a prophet. He sits at the right hand of God, and Jehovah God is the one that created us. We owe our allegiance and our loyalty to Jehovah God. I've been studying the book of, I've got, I studied the Book of Mormon a little bit, looked at that, and all I could do about that was shake my head and put it down. It's just wasn't right. It just wasn't right. Doesn't fit. That's my personal opinion. The Muslims have an Islamic faith of their own. I have their Bible, their holy book, and I got it somewhere. I think I brought it on board here with us. I've read a bit of that. I began reading it. I have it. It's in English and Arabic. So I'm getting a little mind boggle here right now. So I should shut it off and come back to this. But their Quran. Well, some people spell it with a K. Some people spell it with a Q. The English version. That's just the English version of it. Um, you always want to say to a Muslim, "Salam alaikum," and they'll say back, "Alaikum Allah salam." So, I could study Arabic and get into their language and learn it, but for what purpose? Um, there's millions and millions of Muslims in the earth today. And I think most are good people. They love God. They call God Allah. We call God Jehovah, Yahweh, Jehovah. But there is only one God. They say that there's only one prophet, and that's Muhammad. Well, you compare two people, Muhammad and Jesus, Jesus is said to be the Son of God, put upon the earth to make things right, to act as a ransom sacrifice for mankind. But he never did any evil. He never got married, um, never played any dirty games with children. He never did any of that crap. Jesus was holy his entire time on earth. We know that from the scriptures. However, on the other hand, Muhammad, well, there's a guy that was very warlike. He killed a lot of people. He believed that marrying his wife at 6 years old, and then he had relations with her when she was 9. Somehow he believed that was okay. And because of his actions, many Islamic Muslims today believe that's okay to have a child bride, It's not. It's not okay. There's nothing. Your heart should tell you that that's not okay. If you just forget religion altogether, your heart should tell you what's right and what's wrong. Some people don't have a good heart. They make excuses why they can do wrong and bad things. I'm a sinner myself. I have done bad things. I continue to have bad thoughts, and sometimes, once in a while, I do things that are not right, that are bad. I admit that. I pray to God Almighty. I pray to Jehovah for please forgive me. Upon the ransom sacrifice of his son, Jesus, I pray for forgiveness. Some people can never forgive. They don't have forgiveness in their heart. They don't know what forgiveness is. Um, anyway, comparing Jesus with the Muhammad, there's no comparison. Um, I can go on and on about that. In fact, I could have a series of probably 5 videos that talks about Islam, the Quran, their holy book Quran. By the way, the Quran was written 600 years after the Bible was written. And they've got entire sections of the Bible, verses, word for word, that they've taken and printed into their book, the Quran. They claim that the Bible is a holy book, as blessed by God. They say that Jesus was a true prophet, but inferior to Muhammad. I ain't buying that. I'm not buying that at all. Jesus died for us. He died a horrible death, which was prophesied in the Bible. It was prophesied in the very beginning of time. Once Adam and Eve had sinned, that Jesus, Jesus would come back to the earth. He would come to the earth, not back, and be offered up as a ransom sacrifice for us to cleanse us of our sins. In the Quran, it says, into every region, into every city, into every home that you should find yourself, convert those people to Islam. They must become Islam, followers of the Holy Book Quran. They must prophesy Allah is to be the only true and one and true God. And it says in that book that if they do not convert, kill them. It says kill them. Nowhere does the Bible, in the Bible, does Jesus or anybody say, if the people you witness to and preach to don't convert to Christianity, kill them. It does not say that anywhere. It only says, upon leaving that house, that city, shake the dust off your feet and go and move on to the next city or house. So that's all it says. Shake the dust from your feet. So I'm reading the Quran little by little. It takes time. It's got some very nice poetic words in there, and it says some good things. It lays out a good way to live your life. Of course, it has some good things in there. Otherwise, nobody would follow it at all. But it has enough good things in the Quran that millions upon millions of people put their faith in it. But the majority of Muslims, I'm putting that out there, correct me if I'm wrong, have a teacher, a mullah, or a holy man that will teach them how to pray, tell them what is written in the Quran. They will read those scriptures, those verses, verse by verse, so that people will learn that way. That's how they learn. But I would put it out there, and again, correct me if I'm wrong, show me proof, but correct me if I'm wrong, and I'm saying that the majority of Muslims today have never read the Quran, other than maybe a verse or two here and there. They've never picked the book up and read it. Well, you might say maybe many Christians have not read the Bible. Well, that could be true, but not so much as the Muslims. And having not read the book, perhaps they haven't read those verses I've talked about. Anyway, moving on. We're going to head out today and go do some things. So I'm going to put a stop to this video. I want to wish everybody a great day. Today is Sunday, June 7th, and it's beautiful outside. It's a beautiful day. Go out there and enjoy it. And if it's nighttime, go out tomorrow and enjoy the day. Look at the beauty of creation. Look at the trees and the flowers, and pray to God and in sincerity, and God will come your way. You will feel Him. He will come to you. Take care. and God bless.